Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Kentucky, at least 6 school districts shut down today due to a teacher shortage. This shortage happened because a bunch of teachers called out sick in unison because a group known as the KY120. KY not is for Kentucky, not that freak shit y'all thinking about. 120 is for all of the counties that actually exist in Kentucky. KY120, they actually hit everybody up yesterday on Facebook and told them to call out sick. And in one of the biggest school districts, like 40% of the teachers called out sick. So they're all fed up because of the government not addressing their issues with the pensions. They are $39 billion short of paying out pensions and benefits to the teachers over the next 30 years. And they just feel like they have not been addressing that. It's a series of situations that you could go into that's a little petty, but at the end of the day, they want their bread. Green War and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Israel, the Attorney General announced that 69-year-old Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has actually been charged with 1 count of bribery and 2 counts of fraud and breach of trust. Now, this comes from his relationship with a man by the name of Shaul Elovitch. He runs a company called Bezek. It's like the telecom giant out there, and they also own a subsidiary called Walla, W-A-L-L-A. This news outlet is actually giving great coverage of Benjamin Netanyahu. It's actually not that good of a guy, rude as fuck to be honest, but in general always made him look good. And in return, they've determined that they've received like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of regulatory changes at the command of Benjamin Netanyahu. So, they're seeing some funny shit going on. He doesn't necessarily have to step down from the PM position, but especially because it's going to take 1 to 2 years to even get him in court. But, you never know. See what happens. Order of the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. Michael Cohen, former Trump loyalist, fixer, and actual lawyer, actually testified yesterday in front of Congress, swore under oath, and he revealed some things we knew, some things we didn't know. Things we knew that Trump had actually got him to pay money to Stormy Daniels with campaign finances, eventually to shut her up about their extramarital affair during the election season. So that was illegal. Other things, he said that Trump kept asking about the Trump Towers being built in Moscow over in Russia, which kind of gives ground to this whole collusion thing with them. He also said that Trump knew about the WikiLeaks leak of all of Hillary Clinton's emails showing some shady shit that I uncovered. Go check out broadcast number 7. Also talked about him inflating his assets in order to try to get a loan from Deutsche Bank about a Buffalo Bills. Crazy. The New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Pakistan, actually, Prime Minister Imran Khan has actually said that they will return one of the fighter pilots that they captured to India. So India actually had 2 fighter jets over there that were shot down. When I say over there, I mean over in Pakistan. This is after they had already launched airstrikes against Pakistan, which was apparent retaliation. There's been a buildup, but Pakistan was found to have actually bombed and killed some Indian soldiers. So, but apparently it wasn't them, but it might have been them. So it's tension over there. But this method of actually returning a fighter is seen as a de-escalation effort. So it could be peace on the horizon between them two. Hopefully so, because there are thousands stranded from Pakistan actually shutting down their airspace and keeping anything from moving. So we'll see how this pans out. Green War and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on. So opposition leader of Venezuela, Juan Guaido. When I say opposition leader, I mean he is not the president of Venezuela, but there are people who are acknowledging him as the president, including the United States of America, including a lot of European countries and racist motherfuckers, honestly, but some non-racist too. It's just other countries that are acknowledging him as the leader, all to get the current president Nicolas Maduro the fuck out of there, because they feel like he's running the economy to the ground. And honestly, people are trying to take advantage of that so they can get all of that oil that Venezuela has. There's a whole group surrounding the crisis in Venezuela because the inflation there is fucking crazy. And nevertheless, the opposition leader, he actually met with the president, the real president of Brazil today. Yeah, Bolsonaro. Maduro's called this man a modern day Hitler. I mean, he's known to be racist and, wanted to like up the ante on like policing in Brazil. So, that's a big statement. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on. So Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who's also the senior White House advisor, actually met with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, 2 days ago. Now this is big because this is the first time that they actually met with anybody from that the governments have actually even met for real since the murder of Washington Post columnist and Saudi Arabian native Jamal Khashoggi, whose body actually got chopped up when he was at a Saudi Arabian consulate in Turkey. So, and this was found, actually, it's coming to light that, this was at the order of Mohammed bin Salman. So that's what's crazy about it. But even crazier is that for the people that were at this closed door meeting that were able to give media some info, they said the meeting was aimed at coming to a cooperation with Saudi Arabia, and there was no mention of Khashoggi or the war in Yemen. Green War graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Portland, Oregon, the State Department of Oregon actually said they are not going to interfere or intervene with the situation where in Portland there was a Saudi Arabian man that actually was involved in a hit and run for this 15-year-old girl that ended with her death. Now this person was jailed and actually was bailed out of jail by Saudi Arabian officials, given a fake passport and flown out back to Saudi Arabia. So this is mind-boggling, obviously for obvious reasons. And they just said they're not going to pursue it. So that just shows you what type of time we on with Saudi Arabians when they have actually committed a lot of crimes in front of us. Apparently even on a local level and definitely on the international level. Green War and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. Shout out to Congressmember Pramila Jayapal, who's actually a congressmember in Washington and is the chief sponsor of this Medicare for All bill that a lot of Democrats are actually pushing. A lot of Democrats in the House of Representatives, they're trying to push it for a vote. They said they have over 100 sponsors. Let me tell y'all something about this shit. They're talking about expanding Medicare, whatever. We all got old folks that need some Medicare. They're going to expand the benefits to include more people. But also, more importantly, for healthcare, they want to get rid of insurance premiums, co-payments, deductibles, and even change the whole system on how healthcare providers are even paid, because they are speculating that there's a lot of waste. Some people have even speculated that there's billions, even up to $500 billion of waste that this Medicare for All bill will eliminate, instead of paying out to these bureaucratic systems. Essentially, they're trying to cut out the middleman. So we'll see if the middleman actually step in and try to stop that shit. Green War and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on. So Leslie McCrae Dowless, a paid consultant, he was paid by North Carolina Republican Representative Mark Harris, actually was arrested. He was arrested for essentially voter fraud, but specifically for obstruction of justice and rigging the voting elections in North Carolina in this particular district. I believe it's District 9. They're setting it up so that Mark Harris can win over his Democratic opponent, and he barely won. Now, what this man is actually being accused of doing is getting people to sign absentee ballots for people who weren't there, and some real voter fraud shit. The shit that you would expect Republicans to speak out against. But of course, because it's somebody on their team, they're going to leave it alone. So, that's what's happening, man. It just goes to show you the most crooked people a lot of times are in this country. Green War and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady laying on what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Texas, a federal judge actually blocked the state secretary's attempt of purging thousands of registrations of voters from the registration polls. So essentially, there were almost about 100,000 registered voters who, according to the Secretary of State, had actually, in applying for their driver's license, said that they weren't U.S. citizens. But the reality is that they were naturalized. So when the Secretary of State tried to purge it, purge all of those voters, obviously with the hopes of swaying the vote, since there's a lot of that Latino bloc. While despite what they might show you on TV or whatever, these people not fucking with Trump like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the majority is speaking, whatever, and they tried to handle that. So that's just very revealing, and it goes to show you who the real fucking voter folks are, man. Stay woke, Green War and graduation. Or the other new will go to Bishop Grady Lane. I know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Pakistan and India is, tensions are increasing where Pakistan is claiming that we actually have shot down 2 Indian military fighter jets and captured 2 military pilots. And at the same time, India is saying that they actually foiled a Pakistani attempt at bombing one of India's military installations. So it seems like it's a lot of drama over there. Now keep in mind that these countries have been, ever since 1947, they've been in war, in 2 separate wars. So this is looking like it might be a third one possibly. People are worried because they're both nuclear powered. There's said to be 100 nuclear warheads amongst the 2 of them. So, this shit could always go left. So, everybody, stay tuned, stay focused, man. Green War and graduation.